No offense, but I think a lot of men say they want peace, okay? But then, until you understand how to hold it despite the storm, you're never going to find that true peace. All right. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I went about it, and how you can increase your capacity so that your peace can stand the test of strength, time, and challenges. All right. So I used to confuse silence with composure. Okay. And a lot of the clients and people I work with had the same exact issue. We've been told that, you know what, as long as you are quiet, you're at peace. Like, when you think of silence, you think of peace, right? Because the noise in your head equals confusion. No noise in your head equals peace. So it's natural for us to equate that silence to peace. But the truth of the matter is this: if you shut down, if your idea of shutting down is what defines peace, then you don't know what peace is. The peace that I talk about is the peace that goes into the water, like Jesus did, and looks at the storm and walks on it, because they're grounded despite whatever's in front of them. The peace I'm talking about is the peace that doesn't need to silence anything to be at peace. It's literally in control of its peace, and it finds its clarity despite the noise around it. Now that there, to me, is a lot more of a much powerful concept than me pretending that whatever I have got going is peace, right? So what men never learn is that peace isn't the absence of pressure, it's the authority inside it. That's a bar. That is a freaking bar. I'm gonna say that again. What a lot of men never learn is this: the peace isn't absence of pressure, is the authority inside of it. Okay, so when she's now losing her temper, when she's now having a breakdown, she's not trying to destroy your peace. She's trying to find your center. She's trying to find, she's drowning herself, and she's trying to hold on to something. But if now in that stress or turmoil you now start to panic yourself, then you're not going to be able to hold her. So and I had this situation where again, a lot of men that reach out to me, sometimes I've got guys that have gone through postpartum, for instance, right? And they're like, bro, how do I deal with the depression side of things? And I've dealt with depression quite a few times. I've dealt with it myself. I dealt with it with my partner through different episodes, whether it was postpartum or just real life breakdowns. And I've shared my story as well. But what happened was, you need to increase your capacity. You remember when when you play some games, right? And at level 1, you can feel the punches of the boss because you're at level 1. So every single punch the boss throws at you, you're going to be felt. I mean, the damage is like 50% at one punch, and then bam, you're dead on the second punch. But then as you go to level 3, now the punches are still the same punches, but you're now receiving 15% damage. Okay, so you're still standing after 3 punches. And then as you keep going up, you get to level 10, and then one punch doesn't feel like anything because you've increased your capacity. So what I'm basically saying by increasing your capacity is, I'm not saying that you're going to be able to deal with challenges, the challenges that all of a sudden are going to be different. No. I want to say that because of your capacity being increased, you're able to absorb without being consumed by the damage of it a lot more. And you do that by understanding this one concept. Your stability, your groundedness is found in you understanding how to look at the storm as frequently as possible with a calm angle. Okay, so the law of polarity says this: things just are, but there's 2 sides to it. You, however, need to decide which side is useful, because if by the time you now pick the unuseful side and you look at that situation, you're not going to be able to increase your capacity. You can only increase your capacity by understanding that, okay, this is what's happening. All right, I see it. It's in front of me. It sucks, but it's not the end of the world. And that's level 1. And then level 2, you do that over and over again till you get to a point where you now you're able to do a flick of a finger. Okay, the situation just is. And the best example I've got is, again, as entrepreneurs, a lot of us have a lot of capacity when it comes to business. We have a lot of, I like to call it emotional tolerance. Why? Because we've gone through the challenges. You can tell the difference between someone that's gone through hardship and someone that hasn't. So when entrepreneurs gone through hardship, and I'm talking about, sometimes there's a time where I had one of the clients come to me on the day of payment and saying they're not going to pay me, and that was 2 months worth of invoices, and I'm just like, that sucks. That really freaking sucks. But because of the emotional capacity I had built, I was like, I will figure this out. I'll be fine. And I was fine indeed. But then there's other people that, because of that's happened, they're like, I'm going to shut down this business. It's not stable. And that's the truth. It's not stable. So it's like your emotional capacity allows you to look at the same situation someone's able to, but then creates depth because of the amount of pain tolerance relationship you've built, right? So it's all about that pain tolerance. Cool. So to build capacities by understanding how do you being as conscious as possible when you're dealing with these challenges. So again, I've just given you an example, right, which is the logic behind it. You see it, you acknowledge it, you feel it, but you just don't let it burn you out because you've increased the capacity. Now, part 2 of that is the practical way. The practical way is, I'll give you an example. There was times where, again, certain things happened with my partner. She had the breakdown, and I took a deep breath. I thought about the outcome. The outcome I want from this conversation is connection. I don't really care about anything else. Okay. So, based on that, the deep breathing created the clarity for me to now think about what my next steps look like, right? And then based on that, I made a clear decision that was going to lead me into the outcome I actually wanted, which is the ability to focus on the outcome and walk towards it, right? So slow breath, and then taking my time in understanding what is happening, what matters, what doesn't, what is based on my perception and what is the perspective, and then making a clear decision from that. So taking my time in observing the situation. The key here is understanding how quickly can you become the observer in that scenario. The quicker you can become the observer, the less impact that scenario has over you. That's a bar. Bombo clat. Sorry. This is good. This is freaking good. So the quicker you become the observer, the less impact that scenario has over you. Because if you are the observed, then you're watching yourself being consumed by the very circumstance that's supposed to be the very thing you're observing. So now for you to increase your capacity, how quickly can you get into that? Okay, this is happening for me and not to me. Or this is happening and it's okay. Where or what can I do that is different from the outcome that I don't actually want from this? And then this is what's happening internally, okay? Then you've got number 3. Number 3 step is what you actually say to your partner, right? Depending on the scenario, I'd always say you want to confront the situation in a respectful way, all right? So that means if you guys are just had an argument, you can sense her tension, you need to let her know that you're there, okay? So, because in that moment, she's just looking for something to hold on to, right? And this is why reassurance helps, but again, most importantly is stable reassurance. You need to reassure yourself before you're able to reassure her. So this is why step 1 and 2 do not make sense without step 3. So step 1 and 2 first, and then you go into step 3. Step 3 is, I'm here. Say what you need to say. Okay? And that moment changes everything, because you're literally there saying that I don't need to fix anything. I'm here and I'm stable, and you can hold on to me, because that's what I want us to do. I want you to hold on to me so that we can fix this, right? So the key here is that before she can fix the relationship, she needs to be able to hold you, or she needs to be able to lean into you. Because if she cannot lean into you, then she cannot rely on you to fix it. And that is the process that I'm trying to simplify to the best of my ability. She needs to lean into you before she can rely on you fixing it. Okay? You cannot lead what you fear. I repeat this, you cannot lead what you fear. So when you are reacting to a feminine emotion, when you're exposing the little control you have over yourself and therefore over the whole scenario, you're basically showing her that she either needs to fight or flight. So it's key for you to understand that in your capacity, the stability you're creating is creating the safety the relationship needs to be able to face the relationship for what it truly is, to face the situation. So in other words, the worst thing you can do is panic. When she's going to look at you as someone that can be trusted again is when you understand the power behind trusting your leadership again. Right? You trust your leadership. You trust yourself to be like Moses, who's able to lead himself out of that flame or fire, whatever the case is. Okay? In that, you're going to be able to understand that your peace is no longer based on performance, but it's based on you just being the authentic being that you need to be. All right? Now, I know this video was slightly short, but I really hope that in this video you've understood that being grounded is something that happens from within first. Once it happens within, then you can help her to hold on to you. It's like, imagine she's falling from the cliff, right? And then you want her to hold on to you. She can only hold on to you if you're stable, right? So she can only hold on to your peace once you've given that to yourself. If you don't have peace within, you cannot give that to her. And if she doesn't have peace within, she cannot give it to you. So either one or needs to have that stable peace that can have other people holding on to them. So it's not about, oh, but if she's not doing this, and oh, but what if he's not doing that? It's about, no one needs to point fingers. Everyone just needs to focus on building peace for themselves. All right? If this video has added value to you, again, you're interested in a one-to-one consultation, please book below. But I really feel like this video should be really useful and practical in regards to, especially with the 3 steps, understanding how to dissect, how to get into that space where you're able to hold peace for yourself so that you can hold it for others. All right? So, guys, without further ado, evolution's upon us, and I'll see you in the next one. And YouTube said that this video is the video you should watch next.